Power tools like Kubernetes, Kafka, and Istio are really good at what they do, and they're also a bad choice in the context of platform engineering in 2024. Why is that? What should we be using instead that accelerates delivery teams without giving them additional work? Hello, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now. That way you can stay up to date with all the cool stuff that's happening here. I'm Steve Smith, I'm Cornish, and I'm the Global SVP of Technology at Scale at Equal Experts. I'll be your host for today. I'm afraid Dave Farley isn't available. He's lost a bet to me, again. So he's had to go and buy me the biggest parrotfish that he can find. On this channel, we like to discuss what's important for engineers and for delivery teams. What's important to deliver outcomes and solve real business problems in terms of technology. And when you have many delivery teams, platform engineering can be a powerful accelerant. It can help them to achieve engineering excellence in terms of speed, quality, and reliability. And of course, we can measure those with the excellent metrics in Dr. Nicole Forsgren's Accelerate book. I'm lucky enough to have had platform leadership roles in the UK government, at retailers, and in telcos. I've seen platform engineering done really well. I've seen organizations grow from 1 team to 30 or from 20 to 80. I've seen organizations grow in terms of microservices from 1 to 1,000. In those situations, platform engineering was really effective. And sadly, I've also seen platform engineering not work out so well in organizations. It's easy to get platform engineering wrong. And today we're going to talk about one particular problem, something my colleague Ollie Shaw calls the power tools problem.
Let me pause and say thank you to our sponsors. We're extremely fortunate to be sponsored by Equal Experts, Transfic, Tuple, and Honeycomb. All of these companies offer products and services that are well aligned with the topics that we discuss here on the Modern Software Engineering channel every week. So if you're looking for excellence in continuous delivery and software engineering, do click on the links in the description below and check them out. I'd also like to add my thanks to our sponsors for continuing to support us through this new change to our channel.
The power tools problem is when your platform team implements core capabilities with heavyweight tools. Perhaps Kubernetes for a container runtime, or Kafka for messaging queues, or Istio for a service mesh. Those are the usual suspects that I've seen in the wild. You may have had a very different experience. I don't have any particular beef with any particular tool, except for WebSphere. My beef is more with the intent behind choices. The thing is, power tools are super shiny, super powerful, they can do loads of cool stuff, and they need a lot of all-around effort. Your platform team has to learn a lot about how to build and run and support them. Don't think about power tools in terms of their cloud costs. Think about them in terms of their babysitting cost. Power tools need babysitters. And delivery teams have to understand and maintain configurations for these really complex tools. You're not going to abstract Kafka away entirely from your delivery teams. The effort involved would be enormous. So delivery teams have to spend some time with power tools, and it's beyond their core competencies. They've got other things they should be doing. They should be working on planned product features. They should be devoting more of their time to delivering value to your customers. And yes, when I talk about power tools, I am referring to managed services as well as self-hosted. I am referring to GKE as well as COPS. I am referring to Confluent as well as raw Kafka. Managed services are obviously a better solution, but simpler doesn't mean simple. Easier doesn't mean easy. This is a false binary choice. There's a whole spectrum of choices available to us. Over time, power tools cause a lot of unplanned tech work to creep into your teams. It's hard to measure accurately, but trust me, it's there. You might know this as rework rate from the Accelerate book. When the unplanned work starts to pile up in your teams, when they're spending more time configuring YAML files than they are on business logic, that's when you'll start to see for yourself that power tools are a problem, that their total cost of ownership is out of control. Here's a couple of poorly anonymized examples that I know of. A platform lead at an American broadcaster took 6 months to get a platform started because their engineers kept fighting with the delivery teams. The platform engineers kept insisting on using AKS, that's Kubernetes as a managed service on Azure, while the delivery teams were fighting for something much simpler so they could just get on and hit their deadlines. The platform team won, they got their way, they put in Kubernetes, but it was 6 months of arguments and implementation. Afterwards, the platform lead was asked to give a business justification for those 6 months, and they were unable to do so and left in a very difficult professional situation. I can definitely sympathize with that. I wouldn't have had a good answer either. And I know a tech lead in a German e-commerce company who was super frustrated with the pace of delivery from their platform team. This particular platform team loved Istio. They were all in on self-hosting Istio themselves and using as many features of the mesh as possible in their platform. That's fine, I guess, but the big problem was that they'd had some outages before on Istio upgrades, so they were a little wary. And their not-so-cunning plan was to wait for another company to go on to do the upgrade first, publish their instructions online, and then the German company would follow behind. They found a Dutch company that was also very pro-Istio, and whenever the Dutch company did an upgrade, the German company would then copy their company blog afterwards. This German company had no business relationship with this Dutch company. The Dutch company didn't know the German company existed, and yet there was a technology dependency in German companies' project plans. They even had one engineer learn a bit of Dutch to ensure that there were accurate translations of the upgrade instructions on the Dutch company's blog for the German company. The power tools problem happens when your platform team works inside out on the tools they want, rather than outside in on the capabilities your delivery teams really need. Kubernetes, Kafka, Istio, and the like are good power tools, but specifically within the context of platform engineering, they don't provide enough unique value to delivery teams to justify their total cost of ownership. All right, so you've used some power tools, you're feeling the pain. It's gradually dawning on you that maybe that guy with all those parrotfish was onto something. How do you solve the power tools problem? You lift and shift teams from heavyweight to lightweight capabilities. You replace Kubernetes with something like ECS on Fargate. You replace Kafka with something like Kinesis. You replace Istio with something like AppMesh. And again, your tool choice here isn't as important as the intent behind your choices. The intent needs to be, let's make life easier for our delivery teams. Use the strangler fig pattern as you would in any legacy displacement scenario. Platform engineering isn't special. There, I said it. Tried and tested technical practices, well-established design patterns, they will work really well in platform engineering. Basically, everything in Dave's continuous delivery and modern software engineering books is applicable. So, find the platform capability with the highest cost for your delivery teams that's creating the most unexpected work for them. That's easy. Go and ask your teams, what's annoying you the most about our platform? What's giving you the most pain? They'll tell you. Once you find that platform capability, announce to the world that this is only version 1. Lock it down so no net new services can use it. Build a lighter weight version of that capability. Call that version 2. Put new services onto version 2. And migrate delivery team workloads from V1 to V2 as fast as you can. You're probably going to want the platform team to do that for you. Once you've done that, 3 things can happen. 1, there'll be a similar accelerant. Lightweight capabilities, heavyweight capabilities, they can both speed teams up, so that's fine. I've seen companies accelerate teams with Kubernetes, with Kafka. It's rare, but with the right investment, it can happen. But it's the second of the 3 things we really care about here. Moving to lighter weight tools will dramatically reduce the cognitive loading of delivery teams, dramatically reduce the amount of unplanned tech work that they have to endure through your platform. And number 3, there will be lower costs for the platform team themselves. There's less for them to think about, less for them to build and run. They'll be able to spend more time on new platform features. Next time I'm here, I'll cover another platform engineering problem. But first of all, Dave has to bring me that parrotfish, and it had better be alive and well when he gets here. Thanks for watching.